Disclaimer, in this video, I will be talking about a very problematic individual, and I will be talking about some very serious topics. These topics will include a trigger warning. Topics include self-harm, suicide, racism, use of slurs, pro-shipping, transphobia, incest, romanticizing of abuse and rape, pedophilia, necrophilia, dubcon, zoophilia, and probably a few other very, very bad things. If any of these topics trigger you, please click off the video now. Please do not attempt to hunt down this person, even if they are a garbage human being. I do not condone harassment of any kind. Thank you. Shio, Oshigutsu. My name's Rami Goji, or Fiber Florist. But if you're from the Daybreak community, you may know me as the Awkward Artist or Awkward Yoinky. I have been part of the Daybreak community since alpha testing, so I've been here for quite a while. I was first introduced to the game by a good friend of mine named the Random Artist, or Zach. But I'm not here to talk about that today. I'm here to warn the Daybreak community, or anyone who may run into this person. Do not make the same mistake that I did. This user is extremely toxic, they're a horrible person, and they're really out for their own selfish needs. They're fucking disgusting on so many levels, and I have proof of it. So, I almost got blamed for this person's actions, and I almost took the fall for them because I thought they were my friend. But they weren't, clearly. So, here's some of the evidence that I have against them. The user in question is named Poppy Luminosity, or their Discord account is called Ajax Depop. A few of the people in the Daybreak community and in the Daybreak server have ran into this person not too long ago when he tried to join the Daybreak server. It's a fan server related to the Daybreak server after it got changed to read-only. He tried joining and tried blending in with everyone, which it clearly didn't work because his art style has changed, but some of the old remnants of his old style are still there. Someone recognized him in the chat and called him out as... I think they recognized him from his Twitter account. So, unfortunately, since this went down in the general chat, I wasn't able to go back and get the chat logs. I even tried typing in his username into the search bar, but that didn't help in the Discord thing either, so rip, I guess. But someone recognized his art style as the Colia NSFW Daybreak artist. I don't really blame them, his art style is pretty recognizable. However, it's not just Colia that he's drawn ship art of. Me and a good friend of mine have managed to find an old account of his before he, I guess, got banned? Suspended? I'm not sure. It was on Twitter. The name of the account was strawberrix_boba. I tried typing it in, but as you can see, nothing's popping up. I guess he deleted the account or he got suspended or something. I'm not sure, but on this account, there were multiple disgusting drawings that he had posted. Trigger warning, the images that he had posted included art of Ye-Jun and Ye-Jun Aaaqil. It was basically Inagaki-cest, but it was Jun basically raping Ye-Jun. Like, literally, he was throwing himself onto his younger brother and he was raping him. And another image was of Callum and Aaaqil, and it was basically dubcon. Callum kind of just threw himself onto Aaaqil and was kind of having his way with him, and it was pretty obvious Aaaqil didn't really fully consent to it. And then another photo that he had drawn was Daryl, Ross, and Veronica Ayala, and it was basically Daryl raping Veronica after he had brutally beaten her with his ruler. And then another one was him desiccating her fucking corpse. And then another one was him, it was Daryl non-conning Aaaqil in his office because he was his favorite student. And then I believe there was another one where it was Kyle and Serena, he called it Double Wolf, where Serena was physically beating the shit out of Kyle, tying him up to a chair, and was physically assaulting him. And then after that, Serena was shown to grab a hold of Kyle, hold him down, and then, basically rape him. Other things that he posted to the account included Finley x Dakari, Lyndon X Finley. He would talk about, some of them he wouldn't even draw, some of them he'd just talk about it on his posts, where he would talk about Lyndon getting dubconned by Finley and was talking about how Finley was so hot because he was a fish. And was basically saying how he wanted to get, down and dirty with a fish. And it wasn't even with just Finley either. He would talk about that stuff with, like, Cole as well, talking about how it'd be so hot to be railed by an actual wolf against his will. And it was like, there's something seriously fucking wrong with this guy. But it wasn't even just that. It didn't stop there. This guy had a habit of drawing Inagaki cest and double wolf. Like, he romanticized it the most, like, especially like when it came to drawing them. A common theme I'd see in his art would be rape and dubcon. He also really, really liked Daryl X Aaaqil, from what I could see, because he really, really liked drawing implied dubcon with them, with Daryl being really suggestive with Aaaqil. Sometimes Aaaqil didn't even look like he was a teenager. In fact, I think in one of his posts, he put in the quote title of it that Aaaqil had been aged down to, like, the age of, like, 13, and Daryl was still his regular age, and he drew Daryl basically rutting on him in his office. He had, like, his hand over his mouth and was sitting there, like, rutting on him, and it was a lot. But he didn't see anything wrong with what he drew up until the Daybreak community, well, up until Brenda, at least, found out about it. And it was a fucking nightmare. Okay, so I have some screenshots here. So I had to get a new Discord account because I didn't have access to the old email I used. It was my dad's old email. So I unfortunately don't have the original Discord DMs, but I do have the Twitter DMs right here. I'm not going to read them, but if you want to pause and read through them, feel free to. These are in order, everything he said to me. And at the time, I genuinely felt really hurt by some of the things he was saying because I really thought he was my friend. And I didn't want him getting in trouble for the stuff he was doing. And he pressured me and my partner into indulging in his shit because we were his friend, and we felt obligated to do what he told us to do. And he tried tracing some of my art and tried mimicking my art style in some aspects at the time. It was like over a year ago, but he tried mimicking my style and mixing it in with Juno Spy's art style to try to make it seem like it was me doing all of it. And he even tried to throw the blame on me in the server and almost got me in trouble, and along with my partner, because he wanted to avoid taking the blame. But I had the screenshots, thank God. He's nothing short of an asshole, and I can't believe I let myself think he could actually be friends with me. And I thought he was a good person, but he really wasn't. So not only did he call me redskin and a skinwalker because of my race, I'm Cherokee, I'm Native American. He also made fun of the fact that I have clinical depression and the fact that I was diagnosed with it, and I used to have a very bad self-harming issue. I think I have a screenshot here where he makes fun of me because I used to do that, and he even blatantly tells me to go kill myself in this screenshot. Where the art was drawn a long time ago, I unfortunately do not have screenshots of the art that he drew. Obviously, I would heavily censor it, but you're just gonna have to take my word for it. And I know that's a very risky thing to say, but I promise you, I'm not lying about the shit that he drew. If you go on the Luminosity Poppy account, his art is still up and you can see some examples of the stuff that I told you about. But if you ask Mars, or Juno, as they're called in the Daybreak server, they can vouch for it. They seen the art too. Maybe not all of the ones that I mentioned, but they seen the art that I mentioned earlier on the Strawberries Boba account. I promise I'm not lying about any of this. The art that he drew was absolutely disgusting. Some of the things that he would post on that account were sickening, and if anyone in this server or in this community ever runs into anyone that has a similar name, like Ajax Depop, Luminosity Cherry, Poppy Lumi, or just anything that has to do with the word luminosity or poppy, I would just stay away from that individual, because there is a high chance that it is him. He has so many fucking accounts that have been banned from the original Daybreak server. God knows how many he has now. So please, please, watch out for this individual, because this guy is a real piece of shit. He's disgusting, and do not support him in any way. And if you do find his account on any form of social media, please don't get involved with him. Just block and report him. And if you find a Discord account that looks like him or acts like him, or you think is him, please, 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 please report it to the admins, report it to the mod, report it to anybody. Just get him out of the server, because he does not deserve to be in the Daybreak community. The community itself is already kind of toxic enough as it is, and we don't need more people like that, especially with his bad influence. He pretends to regret what he did, but he doesn't regret it at all, because he tried apologizing in the Daybreak server when someone called him out for it, and he wasn't even properly apologizing. He was just trying to get the, He was just trying to, just avoid the backlash, I guess. Avoid people getting mad at him. Avoid getting in trouble. He didn't even properly apologize to me. He was just saying it was a long time ago and that I should just get over it. So please, if you ever run into this guy, please block and report him. And if he's in the Discord server or one of your Discord servers that involve Daybreak or any other fandom that he may or may not be in, please report him and please get him kicked out and banned. Thank you for listening to me. And you don't have to believe me, but please take my word for it. I've shown all the evidence that I could find, because I wanted to bury this after he was dealt with in the original Daybreak server. I didn't think he'd have the balls to try and come back, but he did. And I'm sorry I don't have all the evidence that I thought I did. It's hard digging up an account that, has been suspended or deleted. And I don't know my way around Discord messages and how to dig into the audit files or, But please be aware of this person. Thank you for listening, and I want to thank the people who were genuinely really kind and were so supportful whenever this happened. I think Rainy, I think you was the one who dealt with him when this happened. Thank you so much for being there for me and helping me with that. And thanks to the mods over in the Daybreak server who immediately banned him after I provided some evidence for them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for listening. And thank you to all the people who were concerned and checked on me when that happened. It still bothers me a little bit, but seriously, you don't know how much it means to me knowing that some people in the server care enough to check on me. I appreciate you all. And remember to check out Daybreak in your free time. It's a really good horror game, and the lore is amazing. I love you guys. Well, until next time, Daga Daga Hayu. Until we see each other again.